G'day team, Matty 231 here, cold wintry day in July, working on the 211 E55. Just thought I'd do a video briefly on the anatomy of the W211 door. So if you're DIYing, wanting to do different stuff on your E-Class and you need to pull the door card off, and you also just want to know what's behind the door, we're going to go through that briefly today, so let's get straight into it. First things first, team, removing the door card. So this is a door off a wrecked E55 that I bought last weekend. So we've got perfect view of everything here. I've already stripped one fully down. So if we start with the first thing that most of you will want to do, it's going to remove the door card. So to remove it, you're going to have this panel here. That basically goes in there and locks down, so you pry up from underneath, pull that out. There's two torque screws in there. Easy. It's actually a real easy door card to get off. When I had my first car, it was a Subaru Legacy back in 15 years ago, and it was a lot more difficult to get a tinny old Subaru's door card off than an E-Class. Then you got the little cover here that gives you access to the mirror harness and some extra electrical wiring. So there's a torque screw there. Pry this off, this panel here, pry it off inside like this, pull up and pull out. Cool, that's 3 bolts total, done. Take your tweeter out. So usually the harness will go up through the little gap here, and you'll have your tweeter and your cover. Again, pry from this part inwards, because the tweeter cover wraps in around here, so don't try and pull it out from this side, pull it out from that side. Cool, that's literally it, team. Now what we're going to do is take our pry tool and pry from here. But before you do that, just before you do start pulling the whole thing off, just take that little cover there off with a little torque screwdriver, slightly smaller than this one. I'm just working on retrofitting right now puddle lamps onto this E-Class, so we'll talk about that later in the video, because this car, I pulled this off, had mirrors with puddle lamps, whereas my stock car here just has standard mirror caps with no puddle lamps. So we'll talk about that later though, so stay tuned. But yeah, so to remove the door card, might be a bit small. Oh, that's all right. Take this off. Cool. So the reason I'm taking this door card off, I've done the driver's door there, fully stripped it, all the parts here. So we can go through, I'm not going to show you how to disassemble the full door, because you're probably not going to do that, but we'll get this door card off. And then in the video after that, I'll show you how to remove some parts of the trims so you don't break them. So pop it, and then when the door's on the car, just sort of get your hand in the gaps there and just gently pull it up. Yeah, that's literally it. That's all of them, I believe. Yeah, that's all of them. Easy as that. 3 minutes into this clip so far, so you can see it's actually not too time consuming. I'm going to chuck those in the box and keep these parts separate. Then to pull the rest of the door card off, sorry, I'm moving the camera around quite a lot, so you want to just be careful, but you want to basically the lip up here, there's a lip on the door card. See, here's the other door card thing. There's a lip here underneath this little plastic lip that sits on this here. Yeah, so there's a little lip here. This is where your door frame is. Your door frame sits here, and the door card wedges into that gap there. So you're basically just wanting to pull it off of that. So what I like to do is, yeah, just give it a, there you go, just give it a, easy, just like that. Cool, simple. Now team, it's all exposed. What we need to do is disconnect the door handle. So if I show you on my car, here's the door handle hook, and it hooks into the back of this door card. Getting lots of door cards at the moment. It hooks onto the back of this door card into here, see? it hooks in there, and then the wire sits in this gap. So what I do to remove it is I pull the handle out, and then I slide this piece, the black piece, the insulated piece, back out of the little retaining piece here. Then I unhook when it's back to this position, unhook the hook, and you're done. Then just slowly unplug the harnesses from the door computer, and that's pretty much it. That's literally all it is, team. It's real easy. Cool. So I'll take this door card off and we'll continue. But that's how you remove the door card on pretty much both sides of the 211. Right, team, if you're still here, I was talking about puddle lamps on the E55. And yeah, so I've got this unit here that was off the wreck that I bought, and it has puddle lamps. So the car's going under a weird a weird issue at the moment with the battery playing up. I might need to replace the battery, but as we can see here, those are working now. So if I just quickly walk you through the story, right? So I was playing with this yesterday. I didn't want to make a video and waste people's time, so I was playing with this yesterday. My car didn't have this feature from the factory. So the first thing I did was, you know, assuming everything would just plug and play, I basically, as you can see already, I placed the light assembly here onto the window harness, or the window assembly. So, God, jeez. The first thing I did was took all of this off for a start. I took the full mirror out, and I cleaned it and I re-greased it. So you can see there the little gear down there. I cleaned it with like WD-40. You can remove this stuff here, like this plastic. You can slowly clip it out of the back piece here, so it gives you more room. Cleaned it with a bit of WD-40. Put some fresh grease on it, some NGLI grease. I fully cleaned this rubber seal inside and out behind here as well. So now the mirror is nice and quiet. When it opens and closes, you might find on your older E-Class, you know, 20 years old, it's like, now it's like new again. So just re-grease the gears and clean any debris out of there where you can. This mirror, unfortunately, doesn't have a heating mechanism anymore. But anyway, the issue with my mirror, so sorry, let's just keep it simple for now. Let's talk about the subject. So yeah, so that didn't work with me just plugging directly in this light. So what I then thought, after about 2 hours, I was like, hey, if it's not gonna work and I've got the complete door, the likely culprit is the door control module. So the door control module isn't set to, isn't programmed. Well, I guess it's either not programmed, or it's a different version in which the puddle lamps was a option or manufacturer option. So if you look here, this is the door control module from the wrecking car that has the drop lights or the puddle lights. So here's my current factory control module that came with the car. So you can see I've unplugged all the harnesses and just temporarily plugged in the mirror, the power, and I guess CAN. I imagine there'll be CAN lines, those little ones for the communication network, and then our door lock, just because it was there. Now it works. The only stupid thing I did was I forgot that I'd loosened up the negative terminal. So I had a battery convenience warning light come on. So for a few minutes before I started making this video right now, I was like, oh, it still doesn't work. It's still not turning on. But then I realized because I hadn't tightened up the negative terminal on the battery, the car was going into its shedding phase, where basically it culls any non-essential items to run the car. So obviously something like this is not essential to run the car. So it killed it, making me think that it didn't work. So actually once I fixed that, I push unlock on the, plug it in first. So you don't have to have the mirror attached to the whole mirror assembly team. You can just slide it onto that there like that. Now when I unlock the car, there you go, it works. So that's effing cool. I'm so stoked with that. So that's good, because I was taking the door card off thinking this has to work. And then when it first did, it didn't work. I was like, oh, what a waste of time. So now I know it works. I can finish that, put it back together, and then I can move on to this door card, remove this mirror fully. I'm going to strip it, clean it, and then the mirror frame itself's fine. It's the actual, this piece here, this is the different part. So that's one without it, and then this one's with it. And as you can see here, yeah, that's my original one. See, it's just got 2 pins at the top, the bottom there. This one has 4 pins. The top 2 pins are for the puddle lamp. So that can go with this car, because this is the left door. Yep. And then this is my driver's side, other side. But you can see here, it's one assembly with that, with 4 pins. Cool. Cool, so that's that. I'm going to reassemble this door now. Put the door card back on. First I'm going to remove the computer, but just be careful, team. These computers are the hardest part to get off the bloody car, and I actually broke the pins on this piece here. I don't even know how to get it off properly, to be honest. I got the first one off okay on the driver's door, but this left door was a bastard and I broke the pins, so I'm just going to reinstall it and just sort of make sure it doesn't rattle, because I don't want to make any more noises in this car. But yeah, so let's continue. Right, team, so the door card's, the computer module installed. Even though I broke this tab, it's not going to rattle around. So that's good. So just check all your harnesses are in. I've just zip tied these bundles a little bit because they're a little bit loose otherwise. So they're all good to go. So we're good to put the door card back on. There's nothing worth cleaning or checking further. Just make sure there's nothing rattling in the back here, but yeah, that's fine. So I'll put the door card on now. What I'm going to do is just wipe along here and put a little bit of silicone grease in, just to help it sort of slop back onto the rail there. And then we can reinstall the door card, which is just the reverse of what I showed you at the start of the video. So team, it's a few weeks later, and I've been running these puddle lamps now for about 2 weeks. They work really well. Turn the light off. So if I unlock the car now, you'll see they light up underneath there. So yeah, I've got some Nava bulbs in there. They're actually not that good. They're quite dim, and obviously, you know, these cars aren't built to run LEDs, I imagine. So there's like a little bit of sort of residual power sitting there, so it just sort of lightly illuminates for like half a minute and then it disappears. It turns off, which is fine, so that's good. I've had no power draining issues or anything, so they work well. They're just little cheap Nava. In New Zealand here we've got this brand Nava. This is the original version I bought, which is a lot better because it's higher wattage, so brighter, and it's got like a LED on the sides and the top. But they're too tall, they won't fit, so you need small ones. I think these are the originals, and yeah, they're about, you know, these Nava ones are about 5 mils taller. They don't fit, so you need to get like a very compact LED like I have here, and then it works perfectly. So yeah, it's you can still see it during the day, but it's definitely not bright. But regardless, I'm stoked. It works really well. So that's installed now. Do you need another computer module? Possibly not. As you saw, I went and put another computer module in. They're in this box. Like I was just explaining in the video before, you install them, they're pretty hard to pull off and reinstall, but I've done that. But I found on my scanner, on my Foxwell scanner, you don't actually have to, there is an option to edit the door control module settings, and I remember there was one in there a few weeks ago when I checked that was a setting for something like courtesy lamps off or on, or it was something like that. It wasn't called puddle lamp, it was like courtesy lamp or something lamp, And so I think you could get away with literally just installing the light unit itself, and obviously the body, and plugging it in, and that one's still running, and just programming it, and it should work, because the door computer module itself still has the pins for the actual light. So I assume they possibly all come with it enabled. It's just a matter of turning it on. But in this case, I swapped the modules out because they were different module part numbers from Mercedes. So I swapped them out anyway, and everything still works good as gold. So yeah, you might not have to do the computers. You can probably just start with this, try it, program it, and if it doesn't work, then go and get the computer module in the door card itself. That's an easy fix though, so that's cool. So team chipping away at the door. So you can see here we've got this bottom piece where we have a little weather strip that runs along the bottom, which is basically this piece here. You'll see it's got, I've actually wrapped this one up already to put on the shelf, but they've got these little tabs. They run the whole way across. Basically, the tabs lock into these portholes, and then you slide it into place. And that's all that's holding it on. There's no screws, no nothing. Put it in, slide along, click into place. So my passenger door has a slight scratch or cut on one of these strips, so I was contemplating replacing it, but I'm not going to bother. It's very minor. But you know, if yours are damaged, it's easy to replace. Then you've got also the outer strip here. So this main strip here on the car is one big trim piece, and that's secured on by this little Torx screw here, and it's the same concept. That one slides out this way, so you can unslide it. Once you've pulled that off, it'll unslide out this way and drop out. That part's easy comes off, and all these other parts come off pretty easily as well. The sort of annoying part that you have to remove, or that you might have to remove to do a lot of things, is the is this sound deadening here. So it's pretty simple in terms of how it operates. I've already pulled one piece off. You can see up on my shelf here. It just comes off as one big foam sort of piece, and what it has is I believe it's butyl underneath it, which is just like a sort of sticky, it's what we use on the headlights to seal them, but it's like a black sticky sort of residue. And when you heat it up, it becomes quite malleable and easy to separate. And then when it dries, it becomes quite sticky, and yeah, it just bonds things together well without bonding them permanently. You can, you know, heat it up and disassemble things. So you could, yeah, I was using like a little tool like this. I'll just be careful because I don't want to push the door off the thing up here, but just using both hands, moving your way around with a tool like this, and just lifting that seal the whole way around, including the actual speaker as well. So this comes up around the speaker, then you take the speaker off. So don't go and rip it and stuff it up, just be gentle, and you can basically reattach it as well. You don't have to go and re-glue it or anything. You can just literally come around like that and look, reattach it again. So it's really ingenious what they've done here, and I assume other manufacturers do it as well, but I haven't seen it before in other cars. So yeah, don't rip it and break it. It's your sound deadening. It takes a lot of the vibration and road noise out. Just chip away at it, and yeah, these will have to come off as well. So let me do that now on not slow-mo, what's the other word for it? On time lapse. So we got it off. for it. So it's a specific date stamped foam Mercedes part. This one was harder to get off, and I ended up tearing very slightly up the top here and also down here, which is a pain in the ass. Like, it's fine, but it's just not as perfect as I'd like it to be. Whereas that one came off a lot easier, and it's basically fully intact. And that one's fine. It's just, yeah. So now you've got more access to the window and stuff. So obviously, if you are replacing a broken window, then you're definitely going to be doing that job there. So yeah, it's pretty straightforward now to get the glass out and get access to what you need to do. So window regulator motor, just unscrew these three here, pull it out. There's a little gear that this has a cog that goes into. You can literally using your finger and coupled with moving the glass itself with your hand, you can sort of spin the assembly without the motor in place. And basically you want to move the glass up so that you can expose the there's one there, and there's also one back here, the speaker. You just twist it off. This door's not as easy. There's your Harman Kardon speaker, or just your speaker, depending on what model you've got. Cool, that's done. And yeah, your second piece of glass is retained right there. So there's a little screw, a little torque screw you need to get to. So to get to that, obviously we need to move the glass up out of the way. Cool, so 3 torque screws out, it just pops out nice and easily. There we go. And you've got these cool little cable secure harnesses here. So you got to clamp them together to pull them out. So I'll do that off camera as well, because as you can tell, I'm terrible with one hand. You can use anything here. You could probably use a specific size socket, but I've just got my pick tool and I'm just leveraging it into one of the little gaps. Then I'm grabbing the glass at the top, and then I'm pulling it up and pulling this wheel around like that. Now if your glass is smashed, you're probably going to struggle. Well, in theory, you might only have the bottom piece attached, so you might have to use your hand at the bottom here. But you can still do it, and just pull your glass up until you expose. Just be careful, don't cut your hand on anything. Until you expose the torque screws. And then you've literally got your access to the glass. Torques there, loosen it off. You don't remove these, just loosen them right off. And then this glass panel will slide right out of those hands. And then you pull the glass out. I think from memory I pulled it inwards and up through here like this. But you can, that probably makes more sense. And I think what you have to do is sort of just like drop the glass slightly this way to free up this area to get the room to pull it out through the top here. So it's not hard. Just be patient and gentle with it. Then you get that glass out. Then your regulator, I believe it's called, or the window frame assembly here. You use a drill bit, ideally a metal drill bit, because I used normal drill bits and they just got flippin' made blunt in 2 seconds on these. But you're just drilling out these rivets up here on both sides, and also this one here to remove that if you need to. You probably never need to actually, but just so you know how it works, and you can remove it if you need to. But if your motor's busted, it's nice and easy. You just unplug it, plug a new one, and away you go. So it's not hard at all. You can see here are those brackets. That's from that trim on the other side again. So as you can see, it's in the locked position, and when you undo that screw, those shift, you slide that out just gently. And And then finally, team, like that's pretty much it. Like there's not a lot more to go through. Obviously your door rubber itself is just sort of nestled lightly into the frame here, and it's got like a little lip, and as you can see the lip slips into this little rail here, and all you have to do is just gently pull it out as you go around. But when you pull it out, sort of tilt it inwards and tuck it out rather than just pulling up, because you don't want to rip the lip here unless it's junk and it's busted anyway. And then yeah, this plastic here is very fragile, so just be careful with it. You can sort of untuck it here and just sort of lever it out. But I found that my other one cracked there before I even removed it. So just when you do get to removing it, just be careful. What I would say, and I can't remember, is yeah, if this comes out, I'd remove this first. Now this part here up the top is quite tricky because the door harness, the door seal is sort of like stuck into the top there. If I show you this frame here that I've already done, you can see here there's this little lip that it recesses in, so you just want to make sure that you're not pulling it the wrong way and you're going to rip the rubber that sits in this gap here. There's also a bit of felt there as well, but yeah, it's just that channel the whole way down. So, and as for that bracket, here's the other one I've got that I'm going to try and fix because it's broken. I don't think I broke it, I think it was broken already, but I could be wrong. So literally it just sits in here. It's got a little bracket down there. There's nothing really specifically holding it in place, so hence why I think that seal helps it sort of sit in situ. And then the lip here just ever so slightly tucks in to the seal, this felt seal where the window recesses in. And then the bottom part of here, you can see you've just got these little clamps here, and from what I can tell, there's no real easy way to compress these to pull them out. So again, if you're just gentle with it, they should just come out. I couldn't really see any other easier way to do it. You could use a small pick like this and just gently press that piece in there, just enough to get that arrow to come over the top. Again, I'll do that off camera. Yeah, pretty easy. Then your wiring harness, this guy just fully cut the harnesses at the door, but basically they snake through here, and then there's this plastic sort of tube that comes up through and then out of here, and that's where your computer module mounts to, and all your wiring feeds into that. So yeah, the wiring behind the door card and the foam insulation is pretty minimal. It's just your lock system up here, your window regulator, because your speaker's powered off of the actual door card itself, so you've still got quite a lot of wiring on the door card itself. So behind here it's pretty simple. And yeah, once you get the window out, once you get those seals off, there's these two seals finally too. There's this inner seal, which is quite thick and buddy, and that seal there is what the door card slips onto. So the lip of the door card here, you can see this rail, it's like a nylon plastic. It sits and sinks onto there, and that gives the rigidity on the upper door card. It's just literally a big rubber, something, I don't know what it's called. That's it. And then you've got one on the outside as well. So I will show you that as well, removing that shortly, and this black outer frame. Right team, so let's get the rest of this door disassembled. I've just bought these new drill bits here. They're Bosch drill bits, which is cool. They're metal drill bits, HSSG. That's what ChatGPT told me to get. So we're going to use it to drill out these rivets. It's up here, down here. This is a cross member brace. And you've also got the actual window regulator itself, which has rivets up the top and down here. And basically, once you've undone them, it just sort of slips out. But before we do that, let's remove the glass. So yeah, I'll chuck the head mount on. Let's continue. Right team, so we've removed that window regulator, had to drill the rivets out. It was definitely easier this time, but not a lot easier, to be honest. It was still a major. You would have seen that the drill bits I used were 3mm. If anything, I'd probably go 4mm, just a little bit wider, just to get the guts of the rivet out, because when I drilled them I was still drilling in the center rather than the whole sort of circumference or diameter of the rivet. So yeah, I obviously butchered a little bit of this one here. It's just a little bit munted. It's fine, but you know, I like to try and do things tidy, and that's not tidy. But at the end of the day, this door's most likely never going to be used again. But I'm not throwing it out, obviously. I'm still going to keep it. So yeah, we'll just work our way around removing these bits of trim. And again, just careful not to bend anything. So we'll remove all these bits of trim. We'll pop parts of this door out as well. So this one here, I like to just push it with my thumb downwards and then just pop it up. There we go, just so you're not going to damage the door. And then this little one here, you see it's got a little lip that hides under the seal. So if you're ever installing it, make sure you pull that out, obviously. So I've got the other one up there on top of the S-Class. They're very fragile. I don't sort of know how I'm going to store them. I'm going to have to like hang them somewhere. Yeah. Then we've got these little suckers here. So those little pieces are these. So they can be, they've got like two little nodules and you can push them together, but it's still not really enough to push them fully together. So I think last time when I did the first door, I just used a pick tool because again, we don't want to damage anything just for the sake of it. And if we can, all these little clips will be useful one day. Yes, if you get the first one out, then you can get the first side out, then you can do the other side. So just sort of like a upwards motion, and then get the one side out, and then the other side's easy, obviously. It's just that first side. Here we go. Cool, perfect. So those are all still in mint condition. Just keep them in a bag, and if we ever work on a project where these are missing or broken, we can use them again, or if someone else needs them, they can buy them for $1, whatever. Cool. So this is for the, obviously for the ignition, for the door lock system. So to get the door lock out, we need to, we'll probably flip the door over now, and we'll do the other side. So before we do flip it, let's just quickly unscrew this little T20, T25 there. We'll remove the rest of our door seal, which just don't rush it, just sort of peel it out gently as you go around, especially so actually team, before we do that, we need to remove also, unfortunately this has been damaged, so this little insulator has been damaged, so that's what it's supposed to look like. It's got sort of teeth on each end that'll hook in, but as you can see here, it's been removed by someone and it's just been torn off, so it's pretty much toast, unfortunately. So that will just go straight in the bin. But yeah, if we remove those little clips, so we'll keep our little pick tool here, and we'll grab like a little lever tool like this. The garage is full of crap at the moment. So if you can see here, it's quite hard to get under. And see, with my pick tool here, you got to be careful that you don't damage, you want to get it under without sort of poking holes in the trim, so that when you reinstall it again one day on a car, you're not gonna see that it's been pulled off before. You want to keep that sort of original look, so just do your best, get this under it. There we go. So it's similar to that other one. It's got two little sort of triangle prongs on it. And you're trying to get it, and it's got this little cross member, little bar in the middle there, which is interesting. So it's a little bit of a strange design. Like, I think that's the only time these are used is probably on this piece of trim here, because I've never seen it anywhere else on an E-Class or any other Mercedes, to be honest. So it's sort of just, like you can pull them out like I did, or you can even just leave them in situ, as you can see here. You don't even have to actually remove them. There we go. And then it should just sort of pop up and out. There we go, like that. Yeah. But just be gentle, team. There's no rush. There we go. So again, this inner part here has like these sort of flaps, and they lock into specific parts around these clips here. So just be careful that you don't just pull it straight out, because you might tear it. Cool. So that's another trim there we'll chuck up here. There's quite a few trims on this door. It's quite interesting. Cool, so now what I'm going to do is, before I flip this over, is I'm going to disconnect these two torque screws, this torque screw up the top here, and I'm also going to, if I'm correct, disconnect. So you see this nice black trim here, it's held on by two torque screws here, and it comes off from the front. It curves around into this piece up here. So we'll unscrew those, and that, and then we will, you probably can't see it on the GoPro, but where my finger is, there's a black hole which is behind the rubber trim. That lets us remove the door lock, this piece here. So when you undo the screw, it holds this on and you can pull this out, which then helps us get the whole door handle out. So we'll do that right now. Right team, so there's just the door handle assembly left, which you'll see here. Behind the door handle is this black frame, and it locks into place, and yeah, and we've undone obviously all the cords and stuff for the door lock itself. So you can sort of put your hand in and pull it through. Yeah, there we go. So I've just grabbed the door handle frame, so that's the back of the door handle. So that sits literally behind there like that. And the door hinge, sorry, the handle itself locks in and acts with this mechanism here. I don't know how it works exactly. And then finally, the last part we've got to pull out is just the, yeah, there it is just the sort of like covering. I assume it's to prevent moisture or something, but I'm not too sure. I I think that's what it is for. I think it's to stop any moisture dripping straight onto the electric mechanism. But as you can see on this one here from the driver's side, there's this little hook, this little plastic tab here that hooks on to the top of the rail. You might not be able to see it on my camera here where my hands are. So I just need to lift it, there we go, and hook it off. So it's not on this side, it's on the other side, but it basically just hooks, and like that's basically what it does to keep itself in place. So once you unhook that, you'll feel the whole mechanism comes down easily. There should be no sort of struggle to get it out. And the lock itself will be there too. I was being truthful, it should be easy. Nothing's ever as easy as you expect, but it's still easier than it should be. Yeah, so there's that one there from this side. So that's that. Now it's just the done. That's the door lock mechanism. So that's this part here that sits like that. There's your little up and down thing inside the car. There's your harness for the door proximity locking sensor, infrared sensor or something, I imagine. There's your door handle linkage. And then you've got your electrics, which obviously will command the lock to lock and unlock. So that's a full assembly there. But other than that, team, that's it. That's pretty much the whole door disassembled. So it's not incredibly difficult. You only need a few tools, but it's also a little bit time consuming to do it properly, and also to make sure you don't damage anything. The door's extremely light once you've emptied it out. It's probably still weighs about 20 to 25 kilos. But yeah, it's pretty lightweight. So I'm going to go and put it out of the way. But that's it, pretty much stripped. There's very minor little things left, like this little plastic cable ducting, and just some like other little riveted in parts like this here. But I just leave them in place. Oh, that's good. Now I can get this out of the way. I really need to organise all my tools better. And yeah, we've also got the door cards here that I need to still further disassemble. The door cards are pretty straightforward, team. The only thing you need to look out for is just broken clips. So once you remove these door cards, these little clips here often lose the little black foam insulators, which means when you install them again, they might rattle. So just make sure you replace these. You can buy these from FCP Euro. Yes, so see, this is commonly what they look like. They've got no little black padding on them. So this one's been destroyed and squashed. So if anything, rather than just, if I just chuck this gently up there like that, rather than throwing this one out straight away, I've got like 30 of these brand new clips, genuine clips. They're not cheap to buy. Most of you probably wouldn't really want to justify spending money like this, but I've got them anyway. But just, if you've got any broken clips, just remove them and install them onto the old one. And then, there you go, that's one less clip you have to buy. So this one's actually got quite a few good clips on it already. So I'll probably, I'll probably take those off and keep them as spare. Just use your thumb. And if I ever install this trim again, or someone else installs it, we'll just put some new clips on it when we do it. But I like to just keep these clips on hand. And I actually was just at Pick Apart earlier today getting some spare parts off a 211. And these are good trims, team. These are on the doors, on the seats. The seat cap where it covers the seatbelt connection. These can commonly break these tabs. So I picked those up there, mint. But yeah, you'll see here off that car that I was at Pick Apart today, I removed some of these clips. So I've got plenty of second-hand spares in the shed, but I've also got like 30 brand new ones as well, which is awesome. Cool, okay. Right team, first time wearing the GoPro head thingy, so my hair's all stuffed up now and I need to get a haircut. But yeah, we've removed and emptied out a door. I've done two. I've got a left hand door and a right hand door, so we've done both of those. In summary, you just need a few picks, your Torx bit sets. You don't need any other sort of screwdriver. You don't need a Phillips or anything, and just some time and patience, and you'll be able to get things off. And yeah, like a microfiber towel is good just to help you get leverage when you're working on the actual paint itself. So rather than, you know, leveraging off of the paint and cracking the paint and wrecking the door frame, just use a microfiber cloth and chip away at it. Anyway, that's Matty231. Hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know if you found it helpful. If you need any advice or tips on further disassembling, just like a comment below, and like and subscribe. Cheers.